You ready to go? Sorry.
All right. We'll do it off all my notes again. Fine.
So while she's getting ready, I met Cynthia accidentally. Can I tell them the story about? Yeah, the conversation we had. Okay. So I used to avoid Cynthia because I thought she was somebody else. Okay. And, somebody from my past life that I don't talk about. And so when I saw her at the center, every time she would be around, I would go the other way and I would hide. And she said she wanted to be my friend. And so one day, who introduced us?
I think it was because of Alice, and I was just talking to her, and I was talking to, there was another, I think it was another lady that I went to like some retreat or something with. And she was sitting like, among us.
And they introduced us.
Kind of come around, and he sat right there, and they left. And it was just you and I. Well, she has no choice but talk to me. If not, then I know for sure she'd be free.
Yeah.
And then we ended up talking about like bowel movements. And I thought we became friends. Yeah, it was weird. I thought we became friends. We were talking about bowel movements. It was like the weirdest thing to conversate about. Okay. California. Yeah, born and raised in California. I was raised by a single mom and a household of 3 brothers. I was the only girl. So yeah, that was tough. I was always getting beaten up on. And my 2 other brothers, they always fought to where there was actually blood. And I had a little brother. My mom often left us alone a lot. And if she wasn't working, it's because she was partying. I remember one time she actually went to Mexico. And she came back, and I noticed, like in her car, shell kind of stuff in Mexico with toys and stuff. And I was like, she actually said she was going to work when really she was gone for a long time with a friend. And I noticed she did that a lot because she was a young woman who had 4 children and she was alone. So I knew she needed time for herself, but often at that time were kids who always had to fend for ourselves. We grew up very quickly. She would distract us with snacks, like packs of donuts and pizza and like movies galore. To where she was gone, we wouldn't think about her and miss her. We would just like be stuck on that and play with the neighbors. Because of that, we had a lot of independency, thinking for ourselves, how to figure stuff out, make certain food, what not to do, how to deal with like, the flood of doing laundry or whatever. We were exposed to pornography and drugs, especially because of the family. If she did have parties, it would be at the house. And a lot of family did drugs. So we would see certain things, even though we were supposed to be asleep. I would still see a lot of stuff. And pornography was something I was exposed to being at babysitter's house. She would leave us for a whole week. So if that adult wasn't around, the older kids could show us this stuff from their parents. So I would notice that something from, how do I put this into you guys to understand? And for the male version, what I thought, and my point of view, with no one to tell me otherwise, I viewed it as a woman is the target, a woman is fixing for any kind of sexual excitement. So I saw that as that, and I put myself in that perspective okay, women are excitable. So immediately that's where I went to. Because my dad was not in the picture at all, once in a while he would call me my little brother, or he would show his face, but that was very rare. So I didn't really have this love for him. He was more like a stranger. I didn't know what the word dad meant. I hardly knew his name, but I recognized his voice. What happened? My mom was hurt physically, mentally, emotionally, and even sexually, even by her dad who tried to have relations with her. She tried telling her mother, who didn't believe her at first, so she ran away when she was 15 years old. She was on her own and had to fend for herself. So she told me this growing up, she would always, scare me about men, fear, and always would come home and say, did anyone, to me, she should always check me, always overprotective, even when she was gone a lot. So it didn't really make sense, So like having a mother like that and an absent father, my mind was so so screwed up to where I saw myself as wanting to be that perfect man, which is really weird. That's the way I twisted it. And I wanted to treat women the way my mother should have been treated and the way I wanted to be treated. So that's how I would go about when I would look at women. And that started from age, 13, I think? It was 13. That's how it started. And I trusted women more because my mom, even though she wasn't around, she always came back home. Like she could have left, just like my dad, but she didn't. She kept all four of us and struggled, and she kept us. And she always came back home. Let's see. Because of my mom and dad, I was shaped to where there wasn't actually any form. It was more like I would go where, I just say Pocahontas, go with the wind. Yeah, I would just kind of go wherever I felt. There was no actual discipline, no real belief in anything stable. I had no consequences. I had no feelings of people that would hurt the women that I was with. I actually preferred older women. And I think that was maybe because of the absence of my mother. I don't know why. That's something I'm still trying to figure out. It was always older women. I think it's because I was able to have better conversations with them because I did grow up very quickly. It's very scary how when you don't have your parents around, your mind can take so many twists and turns to where you believe whatever you want to believe versus what is the actual truth. And each individual, all of us, can have our own truth and preach it to one another. So many twists and turns, and that's how everything and visions and just so many things get divided, and where everyone starts fighting into what we think, what we want, and we're just so lost into everything. And that's where I was just stuck in the world. I know what I'm doing. I used to march, the whole thing of Prop 8 and stuff in the street, just so many things I used to do. The drugs, I did drugs for a while. I don't know why I did that. I think it mainly started after my niece had passed away. My first niece, I just started doing that. I had no one to talk to. So I just started doing that, and that's just me being alone and individually. Like I said, putting myself in the middle role, it's weird because I'm very girly, but at the same time, I'm very tomboy. And I think it's because my mom wasn't around a lot, so my oldest brother took care of me a lot. He would actually dress me. and get me ready for school. And I would hang out with him and the boys. And I had my brother who would play cards together, had any Barbie, and just rip the heads off, like the boys do, just, break all my stuff. So I had like both roles. I was just really confused. I was like, I'm a girl, but I'm a boy. I don't know what I feel. I want everything, This is why it's really good to reflect on what we do with everything. How we think, how we view stuff, and how we feel. Like, where does it come from? Why? Just like, why do we like ketchup on our hot dogs or mustard? What do we prefer, sweet or sour relish? Is it because of our mom or dad? Like why does, certain things that we like and prefer, where did we get it from? If we had different parents or a different situation, or if someone made a different face expression when we eat something, would we like it then? A lot of us actually don't like to maybe reflect a lot because it hurts and it does feel lonely, and then you start feeling different and acting different, and then your friends are like, what's going on with you? So a lot of times we prefer just to just kind of go with the flow and just kind of just keep moving forward and don't think about anything. But as time goes on, that can be very dangerous, because when you get older, you kind of set in your ways, and it's hard to kind of come back to yourself. Believe me, I know. I'm like 35 years old, going on 36. I don't look like it because I don't have any kids. Yeah,
They make
really young, so I don't have any kids. So I can say, as Jesus was getting me ready to convert, he slowly divided me from all my friends to where I actually disliked doing what I was doing. I still felt lonely even when I was dating and doing all the things that I was doing, partying and being outdoors for maybe even days at a time as well. Through the 15 years of living as a homosexual, I secretly prayed to God. None of my friends knew this. Even when I was going to church, I was still, dating women, but I had this part of me like, if you are real and they do say it's wrong, then you will take me away from it. Took 15 years. Why? I don't know. Only God knows. I have no idea. This is how patient, merciful, and unconditional of a love God has for me. He always found a way to lure me back to him, even when I was with women, and I still felt empty and lost. When I was with him, he would call me back to go to church, and I would do that by myself. I would be in my baggy clothes, have my butt showing, with my with my boxers and my tees, and I'd go to church on my little BMX because I didn't have a car then. I was like totally broke. And I would just find a church, and my mom didn't even know where I was at. I just go to church, like, I don't know, I'm gonna go to church before work. And I'd be there. And I'm like, why am I even here? I don't even know if Jesus, God is real. He would just always find a way to just kind of lure me away. And it actually reminds me of this verse. I gave it before. I'm going to give it again because I love it. It's from Genesis chapter 1. And the earth was without form, shape, with darkness over the abyss, a mighty and sweeping over the waters, which is, I was of the earth. Like it's not just through the earth itself, but also you can reflect it on you. Me, I didn't know who or what I was. I was just all over the place. My mind, my heart, my spirit, everything. And finally, after 15 years, I decided to just quit being with women cold turkey. All I thought about was God. I guess it was a love thing. I couldn't get enough love. That was even more strange, like a yearning. I'm going to take you back again to Genesis 1:3, all the way to 4. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, God then separated the light from the darkness, which is a very personal thing. He took me away from it and he separated me to where I moved to Texas to stay with my dad for a couple of years, got back on my feet a little, took all the little baby steps, which is the hardest thing I've ever dealt with. Like I fought with my dad so much because we're so like different in ways, but we're alike. It's just that he's such a stranger to me, you know, and it was just so hard to kind of come together as one, you know, and where we're at in our life, like as friends. It's kind of like, how do we see each other? How do we do this in Christ? So there was a lot of pressure. Family issues, and not just that, like I was dealing with stuff at work. I mean, things are just coming at me. Like when you're trying to do right, I'm telling you, when you have that light on you, the darkness is that light. And he's like, get her. So if you're not like really prayed up and guarded, like things will come after you. So you gotta be really, really just on guard, like for real. And my dad warned me too. He was like, if you're really walking straight with Christ, you really need to be guarded because they're gonna come after you. I had, I mean, trial after trial. I cried so much. She knows, man, I was caught up, hey girl. Oh my life. Like so annoying. Yeah, I mean, all the time. But all I did was, I remember I would play my music. God always brings it back to my music. That's how he gets me. I love music, Christian rap, anything that has a beat to it, and that's what gets me, gets my heart just bumping. And I was just so good. That's thank you, Jesus. And that's what gets me. And the devil hates that. Like, oh, shut up. So yeah. So, anyways, with that said, now like when you start walking a certain way, everyone has a unique, very specific walk, and no one can tell you anything different because God already knows your specific personality. So that's how we're going to reach you. That's what we can't compare each other. We can't say, oh, I would never do something like that, or I can't believe they're, you know, why can't they understand? Well, because they're on a different page than you, and you're on a different page than them. You might be behind, they might be forward. You don't even know. Everyone's on a different situation, and God reaches you when He reaches you. So don't ever compare yourself to somebody else. I don't know if you guys understand that. No, yeah, whatever. Okay, so so like with me, like I really had to just get myself into just me. I guess being like, I call it selfish, but I didn't care about anyone else around. It was just about me. And only me, not about my dad, not about my mom, my brothers, everyone who I left behind. I didn't care. It was about me. And I was like a child, really believed in the word of the Bible. Like I wasn't all crazy, but like I really believed, like a child believes in Elmo. Like, oh, it's real. Like that's how I was, because that's what he was showing me and things that I was doing, and he was really true to his word. So and me and my dad, we get along now, so it's cool. And I have like 3 other siblings. They're really crazy, and they're very different than I am because they have a mom and dad. So I have to watch myself how I talk to them because I have a different filter, and they don't know things what I've gone through. But they're very innocent in certain ways, so I have to be very careful in how I speak to them. So I'm learning a lot from my siblings. I can say now I'm learning a lot about myself, to be patient and not to beat myself up when I do something wrong. Before I would feel that the world is ending. Like, I can't believe I did this, and blah, 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 and I'm ashamed, and no one should know. No, I really don't care, because God already knew I'm going to do it anyway. He expected it. So, and the more I'm like, more and more I'm ashamed, the more I actually become to sin. Like, who are you? You're not God. Of course you make it. So now I'm just like, all right, it's cool. Get over it and move on. So those are kind of graces that I have been able to, I guess, attain. And also the fact that I don't step away from God. So when I fall, I still know He's there, and I still call on Him. So that's another form of obedience. Even though you small and you're still like kind of lost, but if you still keep Jesus in your heart, that's still kind of like a form of obedience because you still know like that the hope and faith that he's going to take care of you, that he's going to still guide you and reach you and pull you out someday, somewhere. As long as you just keep reaching out to him. He's like, I got you, I'll find you, just give me some time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really think I need to read anything else. Yeah, I don't want to read anything else. No. Oh, I have this poem. Because before I go to bed, I don't say like, because throughout the day I'll say like little prayers. I don't always when I am supposed to. I know I'm supposed to like, have a little quiet time, there's still time, and just kind of, they call it like a meditation, just soaking and pray. But throughout the day, I talk to him like I'm crazy, like I literally out loud, like I'm talking to you guys. Like I'll talk to him, and it's really, and people are wondering if they see me through the window, like, oh, someone's here. No. And if I don't do that, then at night before I go to bed, I'll read because I used to have a lot of nightmares. So before I go to bed, if I'm reading this, and this is the last in my spirit, at least to protect me and to remember. And I used to write a lot of poems. I haven't been writing at all. I've been just doing my life, enjoying my new apartment and stuff. So I have a new cat. So I love you to be. But this poem, man, I would say has these words I've been fighting with over and over, and I'm pretty sure you guys have too. Like, it's called My Worst Enemy, which is yourself. And every once in a while, you're gonna go through it. And it's just like, for no reason, you just wake up and you're like, huh. Or you just be like brushing your teeth, you're like, oh, eating chips, oh, like, why am I even having these words against myself? Or trying to like finish a paper for school and you're just beating yourself up for anything. Maybe not getting along with somebody, and just beating yourself up. And I would just say, don't give up, because it is a lie. It really is a lie. It's like the life that I lived before, it was a lie. Like I literally twisted the word love. I twisted it. So this is the poem that I want to share with you guys. It's called My Worst Enemy. Me, myself, and I am sometimes shy, not always understanding why. Doors that close, crack open, and then here comes the world. Shut down, no one to steer, my own expired guidance. Then here comes the handmade manual, Emmanuel. Infinity beyond my words and tongues. I am worthy, I am beautiful. I am all I allow him to say in all of his ways. But I am my worst enemy. I allow them to say to me, you are filthy. You are uncontrollable and never lovable. You are all you have done, and it's because of your ways, unforgivable. I need to feel into a fool. I don't want to be a fool slipping into a bind, left behind, conquering power tools that can only start. I find myself needing a break to recharge me. Break every chain, Jesus, you are the way. Show me how to stay. You say to me, myself, and I. But you will not always understand why. Some doors will open and yes, some will hurt, especially when they close. Just don't close your eyes and I will eventually show you why. Don't stutter or shudder, and keep open your shutter. Do not stay away my way. I am not your enemy. I will not lie to you. Only have I lied down and died for you. Take a breath and allow me to remove that shear. Take your hand off that emergency brake. I am still here. You are not permanently broken. Focus and let's keep driving. I am driven by you. I don't need to control you, only to hold you. I see you perfectly. You are my beautiful, and I will show you. Hold my hand because you're in it for the ride of your life. I love you. I'm your freedom from within. Amen. And that's it. Say it. That's all. Okay, I'm done. any questions, or would they want to like write them down like that?
We can't write, but we have the,
Oh,
yeah, the Google Classroom. So if you have any questions, you can go into your Google Classroom into the stream and you can type them in there. Or you can ask them here. Well, if later on you have any questions for Cynthia.
I'm not going to remember your face, especially with the math song. I don't even come here anymore. Not to this place, that's this location.
I know, you abandoned us.
I know, sorry. It's far. Like, it's just like the type of way.
I have a question.
Okay. No one else can ask. Yeah, any questions?
Oh yeah. So maybe you don't want to ask the question, but I want to ask the question. So what was the turning point? Like you get to the crossroads and then all of a sudden you have to make a choice. So what was that breaking point for you?
The part that I mentioned, it was, I started to really dislike your presence. Like there was a weird emptiness, like and I hate saying that word emptiness, people always say that, but it's true. Like I felt so lonely. Like I didn't feel like my friends were my friends. Even the women I were dating, I didn't. It felt so like nothing. And even at that time, I was getting sick a lot. I was having like so many seizures and wasn't even funny. And I was so tired of, I guess, being alive. Seizures can really actually exhaust you. I was so exhausted of just life and fighting my battle over and over and over. I was just ready to give up. And to where I was like, well, I'm not supposed to like die. Like I can't kill myself. I can't try that again. So yeah, I told Jesus I will never try that again. So that's another story. So I just decided, well, I'm just gonna end this life. I'm just gonna end that one poetically, and then let's see what happens if I live this life. Let's see what happens to me because I'm crazy like that. Let's try it. Let's do the weird thing. Let's be a rebel in a different way. So that's what I decided to kind of do. I woke up that morning, this one morning, and my heart was just racing like crazy, and I was not getting along with my mom. She was sick too, couldn't help me. And I called my dad, and I decided to say, hey, let's not fight anymore. I wanted peace with him. He was like, that's weird. I just had this, I was just thinking about you last night. And I told God that if you bring my daughter back home, I will give all of myself to you, everything. Please bring my daughter back home. He goes, I said this last night, and you just called me this morning. I haven't talked to him like a month. So it was weird how that happened that next morning that I called him. So he was like, just come over here. I don't have any place for you to sleep besides the floor. And within the month, he got me the ticket, and I moved over here. And he said, just one thing I ask of you, just stay with God. And I go, honestly, that's all I want. Like there was weird yearning of Jesus. Like, and I mentioned here, I just wanted God. Like I was tired of all these fake love here. And I was like, I can't understand this feeling. It's like, have you ever felt, this is not even close. Have you ever felt like you're so exhausted, you're far from home, you're so exhausted, finally you actually get to go home and lay in your bed and you kind of smile and it's just like the perfect like feeling and comfort and warmth. It's like yes, that feeling. I felt that constantly, but it was like a warm, like inside with everything going around me. I was like, I don't know, I can't touch it where it is, but I felt it. And that's what it was, to where I was like, I gotta stop this crap. Yeah, that's when I knew. I don't know, I just knew.
And we met shortly after that.
Yeah.
It wasn't too, you had probably been here.
I like, oh, what's that girl?
I think I know her. So.
Yeah. No. believe in any of it. They actually have a lot of negativity over the Catholics, especially because of her one of her older sisters. There's a lot of negative things to say about it. She kind of follows. Yeah, it's that. No matter what I say, she doesn't believe. She doesn't even go to church at all. I wish she did. My other two brothers are actually gay. One of them used to actually prostitute himself in the street, and he dressed like a girl. And then the other one didn't come out until after his daughter died. But yeah, he's gay too. And then he was going to get married with somebody who used to beat him, and that man died. So, yeah, kind of glad he passed away too, because he probably would have eventually killed him. He used to beat him really bad. None of us knew. But yeah, that's another story. My little brother's the only one that came out, I guess, somewhat okay, but he did a lot of therapy. He put himself in therapy for many years. Yeah, if he had OCD. Any other questions?
Well, let me ask all of you this question. So what was her solution? She didn't have to go to rehab. She didn't have to go and seek advice from a counselor. She didn't have to do anything else. What was her solution? What was her her answer, her remedy? Just being in God's grace, right? In his presence. I had mentioned to them that when I started reading the Bible, and I have a friend who has her parents, they're drug addicts, or I don't know if they're still drug addicts, if they're still alive, but they were drug addicts at the time, and they did heroin. And when you see a heroin addict, they just can't get enough of it. They thirst for it, right? And they'll get sick if they don't get it. So that's how I felt when I was reading the Bible, and I would lock myself up in my room, in the office, and I would keep everybody away. You know, I just wanted more and more and more of it. And that's what you fed on the word.
When I came here, I was like, hey, I know all this music. My mom used to play this music, which is weird because she doesn't go to church, but she like has all this Christian music around the house. Like she exposes to everything else, country, rap, old school, everything. And I knew like all the music here. I was here and I was like, hey. My mom always taught me to be yourself. Always be yourself. So she says, if you can dance with the devil in the clubs, then for sure you can dance for Jesus in the church. So I was always really comfortable with expressing myself. So my dad, when he first saw me, he thought I was a person I was going to be like this. Like, oh, I know Jesus. Nah, when I came here, I was all about Jesus. I was like, hey. And then I was just like, what's going on with this girl? Like, I know this song. I can praise this song for a long time. I just don't know the actual, like, I just don't know the words by heart. But I've been following the spirit slowly. Yeah.
So in essence, you don't have to know everything. And that's what I've been trying to relate to you, trying to convey to you, that you don't have to, like, you could know the whole catechism of the Catholic Church, but it doesn't make you a good Catholic.
Yeah. And that's where it takes you, and you can't put it in the box because it has no form. It has to form you. It has to tell you where to go, how to speak it. And your heart lies to you. So you can't really go by what your heart is, because you're gonna feel things all day long. You're gonna change your mind. And what's the thing that people say, oh, I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. At that moment you meant it. And then your heart will change and you won't feel that anymore. Like it constantly changes. So it's always good to know the truth versus what you think you feel.
Yeah. So you just have to follow the spirit and remain in the spirit. And it takes a lot of work. It's not easy. Knocked you down a lot of times. Oh, that's why I'm on a seafood diet. I see, I eat. Well, seafood, eat food. That's my seafood diet. Oh, it's like, I know judo. No, never mind. All right, so we can go back and forth. Are there any other questions? All right, I'm gonna assume you don't have any other questions. And I have your form over there for your sponsor, so I'm not gonna send it digitally. They actually made a form for you, so that's something else that I don't have to do. And I'm gonna stop this video now. Bye-bye.